Hey everybody, my name is Brennan.
My name is Anthony.
Thanks for watching our video today. Today's discussion is going to be something that we found out quite interesting lately. Thanks to Anthony, he was able to find out the article that was really interesting this week, didn't you? I think it was pretty interesting. Today's
To be perfectly fair, Jason actually found it, but we're not point. We're
True.
not gonna
Yeah.
do all that.
Exactly.
Anyways,
Anyway, so we found out that there was this poll that was taken on widespread use of the word "quote unquote" retard. Now we don't really like using that word here at the headquarters of Advocacy Unscripted, but we do just call it basically the R word. So Anthony's going to speak on some statistics of the R word, and then I'll give out some facts, and then we'll talk about afterwards our personal experiences with that word or any similar word that has the same feelings towards it. Okay?
all right. So from the statistics that they said, it says that more than 90% of teens and adults say that they have heard someone refer to another person as quote retarded, and roughly half of those polled said the reference was actually aimed at an individual who was intellectually disabled. People were also more likely to say something in cases where the person called a retard actually had intellectual disabilities. There's a survey that was done by the Harris Poll Special Olympics, and their survey found that 27% of teens and 38% of adults agree that there was nothing wrong with describing a thing or situation as quote retarded. And I'm just going to open it up to Brennan and what the laws are for this use of the word and some of it.
Okay, so these laws are affected in California. If you are to look for see if it has affected you, all you'd have to do is look up the state law in your area, and then find out have they done anything to find out has they done anything to change the word around. So in California's law, it says SB, which is the title 1381, aimed at May 14th, 2012, removes all references to mental retardation or mentally retarded person, and it replaces that with the words intellectually disabled or a person with intellectual disabilities. The federal law in California is SB, it's S2781, and it is signed into law by President Obama of October 5th, 2010. Once again, it's aiming towards exactly like the state law, but I'll go ahead and say it again. It removes all references to mental retardation or mentally retarded persons, and replaces with intellectually disability or a person with an intellectual disability. So it's basically in both ways of California state law and federal law removing the words mentally retarded person or person with mental retardation. So I think now we'll just kind of get into some personal experiences with that, and we'll be interviewing. There'll be 3 interviews that you'll see in this. Hello everybody, my name is Brennan Wheeler, and I'm going to now just give a little brief explanation of why I think the word retarded was used was because back in high school and throughout my childhood, I grew up with a slight mental disability that made it look to everybody else that I wasn't able to quite keep up with everybody else in certain classes. I felt that a lot of the kids my age were not necessarily speaking it directly towards me, but a lot of it was around behind my back, and I didn't really like that. It was kind of not, I wasn't unexpected at it until just right after the year had happened, because it was something that, like I said, it was more towards my back, and then I would get like a lot of people would say, oh, you're not good enough, this is not, you're just, retard person, and I'm like, I'm not, and I just always kept feeling down for that, and it really wasn't my thing, and I just didn't really like it. I was very more shy after the experiences with that, and it wasn't something that I was able to relate with other people. So when I was able to have friends that were, in my classes and that were able to willing to talk to me and look past my disability, I was really glad to have that experience and being able to talk to people that were willing to, look past my disability. And so a lot of people wouldn't probably recognize it until they get to know me, and then that's when it really shows through. But I would just like to say that using the R word is not a good one. Don't use it to explain something that is, going wrong in a situation. Don't use it to just use it against for any wrong reason. Don't use it. Look at the person first for who they are and not for their disability, because using the R word is wrong. And so that's how I just kind of want to explain my quick story. Bye, everybody.
Hello, everyone, and now I'm just going to tell a little bit of my story of quote-unquote that the word R word and stuff. I personally myself have never had anyone call me the R word, but I have had some people call me the N word, and this happened in high school. It was basically like some of my friends, they were obviously different from me. They were white, but they still felt like they were quote normal, and so they were playing basketball in I want to say gym class, and then I was sitting here playing one of my games on my Nintendo, and then they saw me sitting out there. They were like, hey N-word, do you want to come over here and play basketball with us? I bet you're really good. And to me, it was just like, okay. I felt like you just insulted me and put a stereotype that's, this is obviously my sport, and they presumed to keep doing it again until I just basically just walked off, and I went to the bathroom, just sat in there for a while because it bothered me so much that I was literally crying and had to call my mom to come pick me up because it was that bad. And I wasn't being anywhere different from them, but it's just like, it's no different from calling the person quote unquote retarded. It's no different because it's simply a fact that if you call someone based on what you think they are, it's not gonna fly. That's what they were doing with me because of how the color of my skin is. They obviously threw that at my face and obviously assumed that I was this, and it really bothered me to a point where I felt like, okay, I guess this is just who I am. I'm nothing else. And my mom actually had to talk to me and basically like, no, don't listen to those people that have been calling you the N-word and all that stuff. We'll get everything sorted out and we'll make sure that this doesn't happen. But the situation is, be careful what you say, because you don't know how that person's gonna take it. They could take it, they can't take it. I'm one of those that kind of can't take it, and if you keep doing it too long, I may go off a deep end and possibly consume to either potentially go with some usual teenagers or young adults routes and end my own life right there. But quote unquote, do not do that, because it's never a good idea to end your own life, no matter how much they're hurting you.
So, living with a disability is rather interesting. Some people can be super helpful, kindful, and all that. Other people can just be rude and disrespectful. Unfortunately, this topic is leaning towards the latter. In my personal experience, it's been kind of hit and miss. Some people have been super nice to me, like recently. Other times, some people are just absolute dicks. And some of these other instances I like to point out is, although some people don't explicitly use the word retard, but they will mimic some of my quirks or make fun of me for the way I was doing things. For instance, when I used to go to junior high school in Turlock, I used to look down when I'm walking, so I literally had trouble doing eye contact, and then I spoke in a weird way. So some of these people would just speak in my language, but in a very rude and demeaning way, yeah, and then just they look down like this, and At first, it wasn't very demoralizing, but when I think about it now, it was super demoralizing. And it also didn't help that my brother had a bad tendency as a teenager to use the word, retard to me a lot when I did something that wasn't exactly the most intelligent in the whole world. So that was definitely a struggle. And everything's been going well, like, since then, everything, people have been rather nice. But recently, for some reason, it seems like the community I'm in, by the way, if you guys don't know, I'm a huge fan of Super Smash Brothers. And in our community, we have a bad tendency to see certain insults. And one of those is the word retard. And I remember this incident. I went to Genesis 4, and I went with these group of people that, I like hanging out with. But they had this tendency where to describe something in a situation or to describe an action, they would love to use the word retard. And one of these situations was where I actually got lost in San Jose for like a few hours. I was like running around, exercising, and I got lost. And one of them described it as this: man, you must have been a retard for getting lost. I mean, you literally took 2 lefts and you were literally lost. And I think throughout the whole trip, I felt kind of embarrassed that I did something, idiotic, because now it's like, if I do something stupid, they're going to call me out for it and, insult me for it. And it's not the only time that this happened to me. Other people, like, when they're describing someone acting peculiar, they would say, like, they won't say the word, but they're, like, starting out with the re, so yeah, it really sucks. I mean, when it's all said and done, I honestly believe that why should we even complicate, our scenarios? Like in the long run, who cares if you're black, white, Hispanic, disabled, yada yada? It's really unnecessary because in the end, we're all people. Why overthink something that shouldn't be overthought about in the first place? I mean, one of our biggest flaws is our fear of the unknown and our own survivalist, instinct. So we shouldn't really exploit that in the first place. So really, the way I would say it is that the answer is just don't think about it. Just don't think too hard about a person. They're just a person. That's it. There's nothing, special or crazy about them. They're just people. So really, what's so special about them? We're all of us.
Hey everybody, welcome back.
We're back.
Yeah. Once again, we would like to just kind of end in closing statement that we really like to the whole purpose of this particular video that we found interesting in this segment here on today is that when it comes to using the R word
or the N word
or any word that is really bad and you think is negative, or if you might think that word is not good,
or you're doing it because you think it's cool,
then don't do it. It's because we just know that if you're second guessing the word and you're not for sure about it, don't use it. It's not cool. It's not polite.
It's probably wrong.
It's probably wrong. So we just really want to kind of put emphasis on that, in here and just kind of talk about that. It's not really what you want to do. So we want to thank you for watching today's video.
We really love it.
We love making these videos for you guys. We really do. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you have any suggestions for anything, leave them in the comments as well. We really like to get a lot of feedback. So just keep doing that as well.
Still waiting for that Q&A video.
Anthony, you'll get it soon. It's okay. So guys, we just want to say thank you for watching the videos, and we appreciate all the support, and it's about the support to getting it to people that are looking for it. So thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the videos as well, please. Thank you.
See ya.